Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Branko coming to deliver to you mathematics. If you are first time watching my YouTube channel, first you must like it, you subscribe and you share to all other grade 12 learners within the country. I'm here to just deliver to you today box and whisker diagram, which is also part of your statistics that you are going to answer questions on in the coming exams in September and also in October, November exams. So stay tuned and let's start our lesson. Today our topic is box and whisker diagram. Now one will ask, after completing the model, what will you stand to achieve? Then we say that after you complete this model, you should be able to draw and interpret the box and whisker diagram. You should be able to draw and also interpret the box and whisker diagram. What we mean is that in exams, the examiner can ask you to draw. At the same time, the examiner can draw it for you, and you should be able to interpret the box and whisker diagram. Now, before you do box and whisker diagram, what are some of the things you need to note carefully? They will give you a raw data, and you are going to process the data, and whatever outcome that you get from the data, you use it to draw the box and the whisker diagram. So now, let's say you are given numbers, and then numbers like, say, 20, 21, 23, 44, 20, and say 13. Now, these are the numbers given to you, and they want you to draw a box and whisker diagram. This is what we call the raw data. So you are going to process it, and then you use it to draw the box and whisker diagram. To draw a box and whisker diagram, you need to find what we call the 5-number summary. The 5-number summary. When we talk about the 5-number summary, it gives us information about the spread of the data, how the data has been spread, okay, from minimum value to the maximum value. So now here, when you are looking for the 5-number summary, we first look at the minimum value, and then we look at the lower quartile, and then we look at the median value, and then we look at the upper quartile, and we also look at the maximum value. This is what we call the 5-number summary. So now one will ask, how do you do the 5-number summary? Now the numbers are given in a raw form, so you need to process it. How do you process? You start by rearranging it from the lowest number to the highest number. That is the first thing you do. So you arrange in ascending order of magnitude. Okay, from the lowest to the highest number. So as we can see, how many numbers are there in the data? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers are there in the data set. Let me add another number, say 24, to make it 7 numbers. Okay, so there are 7 numbers in the data set. Now, for you to do the box and whisker diagram, you need what we call the 5-number summary. So we are going to look at our 5-number summary now. So in our 5-number summary, we are going to have what we got rearranging the numbers. So as we are looking on the board, we can see the smallest number here is 13. So you start by rearranging it. So it will be your solution. In your solution, you rearrange. So now you'll be having 13, followed by 20 is the smallest number after 13, all right? So it's going to be 20. How many 20s are appearing here? 2 of them. So you write another 20. And then now what number follows? 21, followed by 23, of course, followed by 24, and then it is followed by 40, it's followed by 44. So this is how you rearrange the numbers. So before you do the 5 number summary, you make sure the numbers are arranged from the smallest number to the biggest number. Okay, so now we are going to look for all the 5 number summary like I have said. You look for the minimum value, the lower quartile, the median quartile, the upper quartile, and the maximum value. These 5 put together is what we call the 5 number summary. So now, here, first thing is to identify the median. Median is the middle number. It separates the data into 2 equal halves, okay? So the median number is always the middle number. After rearranging, it will automatically show itself. So now our middle number is 1, 2, 3. You can put a boundary here. Okay, there are 7 numbers. So obviously 1 will be the middle number. So here you also count 1, 2, 3, and then you put a boundary here. So you can see this number here is what we call the median, Q2. This number is what we call the median, Q2. So our minimum value, of course, is the smallest number. So in the 5 number summary, you write your 5. They can ask you to write a 5 number summary. In the exam, they can ask you to write your 5 number summary. So here your minimum number, minimum value is equals to what number? 13. And then you are from minimum value, we have our Q2, which is our median value, is 21, and it is. Our Q2 is 21. So now, from this 21, we are going to look for our minimum, we're going to look for our lower quartile. Now, when we talk about lower quartile, you always look at it from the median to the left. All the numbers below the median. All the numbers that is below what? The median is where we identify our lower quartile. So from 21, we counting to the left this way. How many numbers are there? 3 numbers are there from 21. So now to the left. Okay, so the middle number of that 3 numbers is what we called the lower quartile. So here we call it Q1, lower quartile. This number here is what? Lower quartile. Q1 is what we call lower quartile. Here we have what? Q2. Q2 is what we call the median quartile. Q2. So now, similarly, if you are looking for upper quartile, then it means from the median, you move to the right and count all the numbers there and choose the middle number. So how many numbers are we counting from the median to the right? 3 numbers. Out of the 3 numbers, 1 is in the middle, isn't it so? So you choose that one as your upper quartile. So our upper quartile is Q3. So you can see the spread of the data. We have our lower quartile, which is 20. We have our median quartile, which is 21. And we have our upper quartile, which is what? 24. From this spread of the data, you can see the minimum value. The minimum value is the smallest value out of the data set. So here we have our minimum value. Our minimum value is what? Is 13. Our minimum value is 13. And then from here, we can also see our maximum value, the highest number. So here we have our maximum what? Value, which is what? 44. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So metric class, what you have to do, once the data is given, you rearrange. That is the first step. After rearranging, you look for your median, which is Q2, the middle number. After getting your Q2, it will help you to look for your Q1 and your Q3. So you look for your Q1 and your Q3, which is the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So from here, we can now write our 5 number summary. So the minimum value is 13. our lower quartile, our lower quartile, which is termed as Q1 in bracket like this, is what? 21. And then our middle quartile or median, we say the median is the middle number. Median is termed as Q2, and Q2 is what? 21. So our lower quartile was 20, sorry, and then this one is 21. Then our upper quartile, our upper quartile is 20, 24, and then our maximum value is equals to 44. So this is what you have as your 5-number summary. Now they can ask you to use the 5-number summary to draw the box and the whisker diagrams. So the number line, the examiners will give it to you in your question paper or in your answer booklet. You will find the graph paper there, which says you must sketch your box and whisker diagram. So you go and peruse through your answer booklet and check where the number line is drawn. So now looking at these numbers, the smallest number is 13, the biggest number is 44. So we can start with, say, 10. Then equal interval and say here is 20. Let me say here is 30. And here is, say, 40 and then 50. Let's say this is the number line given to you where you are going to plot your box and whisker diagram. So now let's look at it and check if our minimum value is 13, then we must count 13. Let's say in between here we have like this. That means it's in 5s now. So from 10 to this number line or the mark here gives you 15. So if I want 13 now, it will be 11, 12, 13. This is 13. So now I'll go up a little bit and put a point somewhere there for 13. Okay, that is my minimum value. Now let's look at our lower quartile. The lower quartile is 20. So here is our 20. So now I'll go and put it a little bit above the minimum value to draw the box in there. So on the box and the whisker diagram, the minimum value and the maximum value is what draws the whisker. And then we have the lower quartile to the upper quartile is what draws the box. So now let's focus on that. Now our lower quartile is 20. So here we can write here Q1. Lower quartile is 20. Now when you look at our median quartile or the median is 21. So 21 is just closer to 20. So you just count only one point and then add it to 20. So it goes somewhere like this. Our graph is going to be like that. So here we call it Q2. The median is closer to the lower quartile, you can see that. And then our Q3 is 24. So our 24 will be 21, say 24 will be here. So let's put our Q3 here. So these 3 points that we see here is what forms the box. So you join it, and then you join. The box must not touch the number line. You join to form the box. Okay. Now in between the box we have our median. So you use broken or dotted line to show. Okay. So that is our median. Now our maximum value is 44. So now when we have 40 here, our 44 can be somewhere there. So you go in the middle, halfway of the box, and then you put a point also. Now you are going to join from the lower quartile to the minimum value with the arm, which we call the whiskers. So you join here. And then you also join from the upper quartile to the maximum value, which is also part of the whisker. Okay. So that is what you have. So this is the box and the whisker diagram. The box and the whisker diagram. So this is it. Okay. I hope and trust you all understand what is happening on the board. Once you get your 5-number summary, go straight and put it into the diagram. On the diagram, you are plotting the 5-number summary. I told you on the 5-number summary, the minimum value and the maximum value is what connects the arm to the box. And those arms is what we call the whiskers. And the box is only plotted using the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile. Thank you. I believe and I trust you are going to nail it when it comes into your exam. Let's say you are given numbers that are more than, or that is an even numbers. Okay. Now, from the previous question, we had 7 data sets that was given. In that case, it was easy to identify the median. All right. So now I'm going to increase the data to say you have, let's take numbers like 165, 159, 184, 167, 166, 166, another 166 down here, 178, 176, going to 170, 173, 178, 170, 174, 171, 178, 168. Let's say I end it here without including the 182 to this side. I'm cutting it here. So now we need to count how many data sets do we have. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16. That gives you even number. Okay. So in this case, when you are going to find your 5-number summary, still we go through the same process. You first rearrange from the smallest number to the biggest number there. So now let's check and see which one is the smallest number amongst all these numbers here. Yes. Which one is the smallest number? 159 is the smallest number. So in our arrangement, we are arranging 16 numbers. Okay. So if a number is repeating itself, you still arrange it. You don't throw it away. Okay. So 159 is the smallest number. So in our solution to find our 5-number summary, 159 is the first number, followed by, from 159 we enter into 160 something. So 165 obviously is the next number, and then followed by 166. How many of them? 1, 2. Can you see that? So we got 166, another 166. You must record them as they appear in the data. Okay. From 166, then we can go to 170. Obviously will be the next number.
168.
168, where is it? So 168 is there. So from here we go to 167. 167. 167. From 167, then we go to 168. You must open your eyes so that we can see well. Matriculants. Otherwise, if you mess it up, you are in trouble. Okay. So from 167, we go to 168. And then from 168, where do we go? 170, obviously. And then from 170, where do we go? 170 again. It is appearing twice, so you need to record them as it appears. Then from 170, obviously 171 is the next number. From 171, we go to 171, we go to 173 because there's no 172. So you put your 173 there, and then from 173 it only appears once. So where do we go again? 174. Here we have our 174. It comes after 173. Then from 174, where do we go? 176. Here is the number 176. And then from 176 we go to, there's no 177, so we go to 178. 178, and then from there another 178 following each other. So we have another 178. Now I believe we that okay, there is 184, the maximum.
Another 178.
178, 178. Okay, so we got 3 of them. Thank you for looking carefully and identifying what you are doing. That's good. So we got 178. What else? And then from this 178, where else? We jump into 170. There's no 179. There's no 180. So where do we go? We go to 184. I guess that is the last number to make the 16 number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the last number will be 184. You must always count how many data numbers did they give you. They gave you 16 data numbers. So when you arrange, you must also get 16 data numbers. But now, they gave you a question that was not arranged. Okay? But now you have arranged it. Okay? From the smallest number to the biggest number, which is 184. Now from here, we are going to write our 5-number summary. We are going to write our 5-number summary. In exams, they will ask you to write the 5-number summary. Don't go and say 5-number summary, then you just write 5-number summary, then you start. Minimum value, you don't put anything there. Lower quartile, you don't write anything and just write minimum value, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and then you got maximum value. That's not how it is. When you write minimum value, you put your equal sign and you write the number. Okay? In some cases, when we are marking the scripts, we do see 5-number summary. The learner knows all the 5-number summary by the head, but he is not able to write the numbers, and at the end of the day, we give that 0. So make sure you, once you have done all these things, you are able to identify what is the median. That is the focus. I said before you find the lower quartile and the upper quartile, we first have to identify what? Our median value. So now out of the 16 numbers, now we can see it is changing. It's not like the first question which had 7 numbers and then there was only 1 middle number. Here we are going to get 2 middle numbers. In such case, when the numbers become 2, you add them and divide it by 2. That is how you find it. So we count, if you have 16 and you have to get 2 middle numbers, it means you count 7 from the left and 7 from the right. And then it will leave you with the 16, the 2 middle numbers. So now let's start counting. From 159, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put a boundary here. Okay. Then I start counting from my right here. From my right here, I count from 184. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it means another boundary will come here. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You count from your left 7 numbers. You count from your right to the left 7 numbers because they are 16. So we have to leave the 2 middle numbers. So from here it's 159, 165 up to 170. That is 7 numbers. Then now you start counting from the maximum value to the left again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you put another boundary here. So you can see that these two numbers are what we are going to use to determine our median. So in this case, our median Q2 is going to be 170 plus 171 divided by 2. And then you press it on your calculator. 170 plus 171 divided by 2. Yes, you give me the answer quickly. 170,5. It's 170,5. 170,5. So therefore, your Q2, which is your median, is 170,5. That is your middle number. Okay. Now we are going to find our Q1 and Q3. Boys and girls, this is what you do when you're finding Q1 and Q3. Now we have identified our median as 170,5, and it was found between these two numbers, 170 and 171. So if I'm you, what I will do is simply come here and put my Q2 here and write it as 170,5 in between the two numbers, because the median is neither 170 nor 171, but it's a combination of the two divided by 2. So when you add 170 and 171, then you divide it by 2, it gives you 170,5. You put it in the middle of those two numbers, so that when you are going to read your lower quartile now, you start from the median to the left. Are you with me? So our median is what? 170,5. We are counting the numbers to the left from the median to look for our lower quartile. Are you with me? So now we start counting from the left. That means I'm moving this direction, going this way. This is my median. This line is the median line. Okay, so I count from that median point to this line. All the numbers there, I must also look for the median of that, and that is your lower quartile. So now let's count how many numbers are there from the median to the left. 1, 2, you include this one to the left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers now. Now out of 8 numbers, you are going to find the middle numbers and call it your lower quartile. Are you with me? So now let's see. You have 8 numbers, you are looking for the middle number. So how do you count again? You count 3 to this side, 3 to this side. It will left with how many numbers in the middle? 2 numbers. So now let's count here. 159, 165, 166. That is another boundary. Okay. Now let's count 3 from the median. Also, so it's this 170, 170, 168. Can we see that? So now, when we are here, what is our middle numbers here? 166 and 167. This becomes our middle numbers. So now you will take this one and also add it and divide it by 2. And that gives you your Q1. So your Q1, which is your lower quartile, is also 166 plus 167 divided by 2. And what is our answer? 166,5. That is your Q1, which is your lower quartile. I believe from here we can do our upper quartile. Upper quartile is also moving from the median number to the right. Count all the numbers and take the middle number. You can also see that if we are moving from the median to the right, our median is 170,5. Is that also? So if our median is 170,5, it means 171 is above the median. You understand that? So we count from numbers that are above the median to the right. So it's 171, 173, 174, up to 184. You are also going to choose your middle number in this data set. There are 8 numbers. So you count 3 to the left, 3 to the right, and you are left with the 2 middle numbers as well. So now let's start counting 171, 173, 174. Then you can have a boundary here. Let's count from the left. 184, 178, 178, another boundary here. So now our two middle numbers for the upper quartile will be the one I'm covering in the box with a red mark. So the numbers that we are going to have for Q3, let me write it down here so we can say our Q3 is 176 plus 178 divided by 2. And the answer for, therefore, we say Q3 is equal to 177. That is our upper quartile. I hope you have understood how you look for the median, the lower quartile, and the upper quartile. Should in case you have a data set that is even. In this case, you got 16 numbers, and 16 numbers are referred to as even number. 16 is an even number. In that case, you always get two middle numbers. When you get the two middle numbers, what you have to do is just take your calculator, add it, and divide it by 2. And then you do the same thing for your lower quartile and do the same thing for your upper quartile. So the only thing that matriculants you have to observe is before you get your lower quartile, always count from the median to the left. How many numbers are there? Okay. So if your median happen to be 2 numbers, you add it and divide it by 2. Go and put it in the data. Ne? Where you have the 2 numbers, put that middle number there. So that when you are counting your lower quartile, you also count one of those numbers that give you the median to the left and one to the right. So that's how you have to observe this. Our minimum and maximum value is obvious. One could see the smallest number simply means minimum value, and the biggest number simply means maximum value. So here our minimum value, what is our minimum value? Our minimum value, of course, is 159, and then our maximum value, of course, is what? 184. So now we have our 5-number summary. We have our 5-number summary. So here you can write it properly. So here you have minimum value, lower quartile, median value, upper quartile, and maximum value in that order. And then you get all your 4 marks. That we were doing, we got our 5-number summary. Our minimum value is 159. Our lower quartile is 166,5. Median 170,5. And upper quartile is 177. Maximum value is 184. So now we present this on the number line. So on the number line, our minimum value is 159. As you can see, 159 is this number here. So 159, that is our minimum value. Our maximum value was 184. Here is it. So here is 184. We can put it on the line, 184. And then now from here we got our lower quartile. Our lower quartile was 166,5. So the number here is 166,5. And then our median value was 170,5. So there is our median. It's also 170,5 here, where you see the broken lines or the dotted line is our median value 170,5. And then our upper quartile was 177. So here we can say here is 177 for upper quartile. Like I told you, the Q1, Q2, Q3 forms the box. So once you get the Q1, Q2, Q3, you draw a box on it. And then the box must not touch the number line. There must always be a gap between the number line and the box like we see. And so we have our maximum value at the far right end there as 184. So the minimum value and the maximum value is what forms the whisker. So that's why we call it the box and the whisker diagram. And I believe you have all understood it. You can now go through questions. The next time when I come, I'll project questions for us to do it, and also I'll come back and give you the solution afterwards. But before I leave the stage, I would love you to subscribe if you are the first time viewer, you subscribe, and then also hit the notification bell so that you can get more of our content. Our content is super and it's good. You must make sure you send or share it to your fellow matriculants so that at the end of the day we all pass and get distinctions in our matric exams. May God bless you. Stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.